Welcome to another issue of Beep. Welcome to another episode of Submit the Ticket. I'm Scott.
And I'm Dragon.
Fair enough. You can call me Nighthawk.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, butchering it a little bit. I want to turn this over to Jason to start us off talking about what are some issues that clients would have if they wanted to switch IT providers.
Yeah, so let's start that over.
Beep.
We don't want our clients switching IT providers. We want prospects.
Potential clients.
Potential clients to come over. I think the first thing that's tough is just telling someone that you're moving.
Sure.
Right? And part of our process is to do an assessment. And if we're going to do an assessment and your current provider has tools in place, they should probably know that something's been installed.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
so
we don't like surprises. We don't want to surprise them. Yeah. You know, communication is very important in this process.
Important. So generally for us, that's our first hurdle is, you know, are you going to tell your current provider that you're going to look elsewhere and that those folks are going to do an assessment, right? And if the answer is no, like generally for me, that's where we stop the conversation, right? Because if we can't do an assessment, I can't accurately gauge what it's going to take to onboard you or quote it appropriately. Yes. Because we don't want to underbid, but we don't want to overbid as well.
Correct. And from the technical side, as the person that does the assessments, you are 100% correct. If I can't get the admin passwords to poke around and see how you are currently set up, yes, that makes it challenging to give a quote, to an accurate one. Like you said, we don't want to overcharge or undercharge. Yeah.
So let's just talk about our process. First thing is we have a meeting. And in this discovery meeting, we get to feel each other out. You know, am I a good fit for you? Are you a good fit for me?
Sure.
Right? And if the answer is yes, we both like each other, we want to go a step further, then we're going to go to an assessment. You know, in that assessment, we're going to put some tools on the network. We're going to figure out exactly how many endpoints we're going to support. If you're in the cloud, we're going to need to look at those cloud apps. Or if you're in a hosted cloud environment, we'll need to log into that hosted cloud environment, gather all that data. Then we'll come back and we'll do a presentation. Yep. And hopefully bring you on as a new customer.
And as part of this, you know, we'll find operating systems that are end of life. You know, with our tools, we try to scan the network and find all the devices that are there so that, you know, sometimes we find stuff where people didn't even know they had it.
The one thing I think that's really important is to keep track of all your assets. And a lot of times that just gets lost and people don't really focus on that.
Yep.
But if you're looking for a quote to change managed service providers, having an asset list handy is going to be the number one way to at least get a budgeted number in place.
Having a list of the passwords compiled that the client actually has is useful too. Like what happens if, you know, you can't get a hold of your current, you know, what if you had to make a change all of a sudden? We're going to need that to help you regardless.
And then you go straight to your Post-it note password system.
Correct.
Which is probably stuck to the monitor or under the keyboard.
Yeah, we've seen all of them.
It's my favorite.
Or just no passwords.
Yeah, no password.
The honor system.
What's your password? No password.
Yeah.
I typed that in 3 times, it didn't work. No. There is no password.
Just blank. Yeah.
Perfect.
Just push enter.
Okay.
So
that's been another episode of Submit the Ticket. I'm Dragon.
I'm Nighthawk. Typically it is an older crowd.
When you were just a little baby boy laying in your crib and your daddy looked over the edge and he thought, oh, that's my boy.
That's my boy.
But then he grows up to only get your ass kicked by a bunch of nerds.
Nerds.